high usage. And we're going in. Let's go.
We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Super Desperation Radio! Go!
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great episode of Super Desperation Radio, here live from the sunny California studios in California. I am your host, Hell Pockets, joined by my illustrious co-host. I didn't mess it up. Technically, I didn't lie.
I'm going to need a verification from the rest of the cast here. Like,
it's okay. It's
that
okay.
A fuck up.
That is not a screw up. That is an ism. That is a pocketism. Pocketsism.
Is it like Xism or Vism?
Pocket. Yeah, that's right. The P-ism.
P-ism.
That's right. So pretty big show today. We have special guest Metaphysics here to help us cover some KOF topics which came to light as of recently. We've got some Tekken stuff to talk about. We've got some Season 2 Street Fighter 5 stuff to talk about. We've got some pretty bad news for the 49ers stuff to talk about.
There's only bad news. Why would you even... You could have just said there's 49ers news and everybody would have just like, yeah.
Like, ooh, yeah, there's the 49ers news. And let's see. Like, we've got two different kinds of 49ers news this year. We've got bad news that we lose. And then there's the worst stuff where it's like you think it can't get any worse, and then like some stuff just happens that's completely unnecessary, and you're just like, oh, really? Like that's just a kick in the balls, man. Case in point, our kick in the balls is today, being that serious talks about John Harbaugh coming back to the NFL. Sounds great, on paper, right? Until you read the part where he's entertaining a position as head coach with the LA Rams.
Wait, John or Jim?
John. He's leaving Michigan.
Isn't that Jim? I thought John was his brother.
Jim, John, whatever, the same thing. They're both irrelevant. They're both irrelevant as far as I'm concerned.
You know what I mean.
Jims and Johns are irrelevant as far as I'm concerned.
No Jims.
So,
no Johns.
No Jims, no Johns.
Yeah, no Jims.
The Niners are currently not entertaining any Jims or Johns at the head coach position. Chips may still apply, though. Anyway, so that is... What would I say? That's like probably the yank in the pants that you probably didn't need to know after yesterday's game. So, yeah, I'm pretty sad about that. I'm going to try not to cry the entire episode. We've got plenty of happy news to talk about. Well, mix of that too. But I think I'll be able to get through it all right. How about you guys? How'd you do?
Doing pretty okay. We got the new Dota patch that came out, So,
that shit's wild.
Solid.
I can't wait.
I had a fantastic weekend.
Hell yeah. Positivity, baby, bring it.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking better than mine at this point.
Hey, I got my character back in Tekken. I'm pretty stoked.
Oh, yeah.
You're the only one.
Yeah, well, fuck the rest of them.
I don't care as long as I'm happy, but fuck everybody else.
Man, that's the mentality that is destroying this community.
Started it with being unhappy, so they get what they give.
Yeah, that's how it works, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'll remember this.
The Bears give all. How many units did the Bears move over Raven?
How many Super Bowls have the Bears won?
But they have. The Ravens already in the game.
I know, that's what's the weird choice is. Like, why would they reveal Raven before the Bears?
Well, I don't think Well, I'll be honest. I think that I would have expected the Bears to be revealed last because I don't think they draw anybody to the game or the franchise. But we don't know that there are more characters coming. Truthfully. There are some, there are definitely some that are missing right now. I would think that we would have a Capo. I would think we would have a Chang. And probably Lei and maybe one more character out of the ones that are remaining. Maybe it'd be an even 36 at that point. But I don't make the rules. I was really happy, and I got really frustrated to see the outpouring of negativity about it. So kind of upsetting.
Let me guess. A wasted character slot, right? Yeah, come on.
I mean, it's not a wasted character slot by any means. That's true, but it's such a weird choice, especially at your biggest event, your world, anything. It's like bears, and it's like what? Like of all the things you could have announced, you didn't even have to announce another character. You could have said something else, but it's like line stickers, bears. Oh my!
There's definitely room to be disappointed, but I think to be mad that somebody else got their character is kind of over a line. Like you can be like, man, it's
not over a line. It's perfectly fine for people to have their opinions such as this, but it's just like, man, it just seemed weird. Like this is what the big reveal you wanted to have.
I mean, you can have an opinion. That doesn't mean it's not shitty.
Yeah, but I mean that goes both ways. It's a two-way street.
Hey, look,
it's bad that I'm happy.
No, I didn't say that in the slightest. That's only what you inferred. I'm just saying that it's weird that they decided to use
Oh no, I don't disagree with that. My point was it's bad that people are actually being angry that somebody else got a character.
I don't think people are looking at it like that.
Said. No, it was that was actually said.
I mean, we I'll compare this to like the KLF community, which like every game is always missing at least 5 characters that somebody thought should have been in there, and people are just like, well, I'm not playing this game. Like the infamous no buy, no buy shit, right? Where it was just like, I'm literally not buying the game because a character I don't even play isn't in it, you know? So it's definitely probably not the best look to complain about who is in and who's not in, because I mean, especially with a game like KLF and Tekken, where like you never know who could be in there in the next game. There's just so many opportunities.
No, yeah, I just agree with what Paul's sentiment is that like maybe this wasn't like the biggest announcement, or Bear should have came like later or whatever. I just feel like maybe they should have went with something with a bit more impact. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's just weird.
Somebody definitely shit their pants at that reveal. They're like, oh shit!
It's funny. I want to say, and obviously I don't know. I want to say that originally it was supposed to be the console release for the game.
I mean,
it just seems really logical that that's what it would have been, and for whatever reason they didn't have it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure some stuff might have happened or whatever. That's fine. We'll get it when we get it.
Now, saying that you expected the big reveal to be something that was bigger than just a character, that is legitimate.
Like,
I think that's a legitimate argument,
like,
especially when you've been waiting for this long. But then again, it'll be out when it's out. That's basically what they keep saying, and we can't really be mad because they've been telling us to our face, like, yeah, we don't got nothing for you yet.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. Don't put a number on it. Don't just let people know, hey, we're working on this stuff.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, I think it's totally understandable to be like, they said big announcement, like, and hyped it up, and then it was,
it's a big bear.
Line stickers, a costume for King that we probably won't even get in the U.S. because it's a New Japan Pro Wrestling costume.
Ooh.
Yeah.
And then bears, and it's like, okay, I'm really excited about bears, but I can totally understand people being like, really? That was all we got?
Yeah.
But to be like, man, fuck bears, they shouldn't be in the game, we're over the line at that point.
Yeah, at that point you're just like, taking your frustration out on the bears.
Yeah, that I don't care, but it's more like, that's really a dumb thing to say. But again, it's like whatever. I just was more like, really, like that's what we got, huh?
Okay. I think it was. I would say it was really confusing, and I think it really. I think it was just kind of people were left going, really, like what, like
Pachinko, let's go.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think anybody should be surprised when they saw like all those commercials leading up to the show, and it's just like Pachi slot, Pachi slots, Pachi slot. I'm like, man, this announcement is gonna suck ass.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really care that much in the sense that it's not like I'm like, well, fuck this shit. It's just more like a. Man, like, just for something that's supposed to be, like, their big world thing, they didn't do a little more with it. Like, obviously, Capcom Cup, they had Season 2 announcement or whatever. But technically, not Capcom Cup, but rather PlayStation Experience, you had the Marvel announcement, which is pretty huge for the event.
No, totally.
But, I don't know, I just would expect Namco just being, like, something real crazy, like, by the way... I mean, I guess technically the, what's it called? The New Japan thing was pretty cool to see. It's not unheard of, but like that was actually pretty big from a business standpoint that you could do something like that. But I was expecting something like, check it out, Tekken 7 has a new Idol Master mode where you could have Heihachi be the leader of your new idol group, out there dancing and singing as like a mini game. I don't know, like something crazy.
Yeah, if there are more characters coming that haven't been announced, it really is confusing.
Honestly, when they said we got a game and type announcement like to make too, like, and they showed tournament mode, that was a little bit of a letdown for me as well. Just like, not the tournament mode's bad. I think that's really cool. My issue was like, I thought they meant like Tekken Force, Tekken Bull, Tekken Ball, something like crazy like thing to come out. But I mean, I guess that was my fault for getting excited. I'm sure they'll have something like that, or maybe they'll add something later. They usually do pretty well by the console releases. But
we're supposed to be getting. They said an announcement within the next month. I guess we're going to have the console release date. So.
Yeah, cartoons and bears.
Stay patient. Just gotta stay patient, right?
Yeah, I mean, once it's out, maybe that's why it's taking longer, because we're going to be having all these crazy, wacky modes, and it's going to be great.
Yeah, we would hope so. If it's like a bare bones game, I don't think anybody's going to be that upset, but there will be somebody scratching their head saying, like, man, why did this take so long? And it could just be something.
It's funny because most of the Tekkens have done a pretty good job of adding other stuff for people to do. So.
Yeah. Tekken 6 had the whole story mode, which was crazy, because it had like all the branching paths and they were like levels. I don't know if it was the best executed, but it was still very interesting.
It's good enough, I guess.
What? Didn't 5 have that one Tekken Force mode?
Yeah, Tekken Force mode.
Where...
Oh, no, Tekken Force was 4. Devil Within or whatever was 5.
Yeah, that's what I meant, yeah. Because Tekken Force was 3. I don't know if 4 had one as well. But I remember the Devil Within or whatever it was, where it was like the third-person action game. Like, that was like, wow, this is weird. But always trying something.
Yep. But other than that, which, I mean, I am really stoked to have Kuma back, and there's a lot I could talk about that, but a lot of people probably don't know the intricacies of the bear, so it's no point. I thought the tournament was really good. It was long, but it was really good.
But before we go into the tournament some more, I just want to ask about the bears, too. Are they both one character with a palette swap? Because it looked like they both had different supers in this game.
So, okay, they basically said that there will be differences. My assumption, although I didn't see, is that they're going to go back to being palette swap again, but each one will just have a different super.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's how they're going to make them distinct, quote unquote, even though I don't think they're going to do 2 character slots. The only game they've ever done that for was Tag 2, and I didn't see a point in doing it.
Yeah.
So
yeah, going back to the tournament. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch a lot of it because I was working the exact times it was on. Started after I went to work, ended right as I got off work. But
it was really good. I think the only thing I didn't like was during group play, they were switching between matches so fast it really felt unfocused. Like you couldn't really sit in and kind of watch a match develop, because it would be like, so they were doing 2 out of 3 for group play, and it would be like one match would be over, but instead of waiting for the next match in that set, they would just go to another set all of a sudden. And it's like so you didn't really get to see a lot of things develop over time in many cases, except for obviously like when the Americans played, we got to see a lot of that, but. Yeah. It just felt like it was a little too hectic and a lot of like just really quick cuts, and kind of made my head spin at times. So, are
there any particular standout matches that like you saw that were just
so Naps versus
was it Saint?
Yeah, from group was really close and down to the wire. It was really good. Or no, wait, it was Naps versus Knee, actually, I think.
That's what it was, yeah. I guess I was thinking about that too. Like, I think Saint was in a different block.
And Anakin had a really good match in groups. Some of AK's run in top 16 was hilarious because he kept getting people with ultimate tackle as Paul. And he actually hit ultimate punishment and all the different little variations of his ground throw. Honestly, all of top 8 was really, really good. The grand finals with Saint versus Chanel was pretty amazing because it looked like Saint was going to run away with it. He won 5 straight games, and then Chanel actually won 2, and so they took it down to last match, and it might have gone down to last round. So it was really intense stuff to watch. It was a lot of fun. So
I really should go back and probably watch it, but for some reason I have a complete aversion to watching things that aren't live. I don't know what's up with that.
You know, it's hard sometimes. I think, especially with tournaments, because I always feel like once I know the results, unless somebody points to an exact, like, oh, you need to watch this round or this match, like sitting through all of it, it kind of wears on me a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't get to watch any of it. I was stuck at work.
Yeah. You and me had like the same shift practically that day.
Dude. Like, my lunch break pretty much consisted of like Evangelion Pachinko commercials.
Wow.
That was pretty great. I remember so everybody was like super hyped for it until like I looked it up and I was like, wait a minute, Fields, that's a Pachinko company. Oh no. Family business strikes again. And one thing I did get to catch though was something that amazed me production wise, which was the way they introed everybody. And I thought that was something that at first it seemed kind of corny because it seemed like your typical like, variety show type over dramatization of, anything. But it was pretty fun to watch at the same time. So I'm hoping that something like that gets adapted into other events. Maybe not other fighting game events, but just other gaming events in general. I thought that was really cool to watch. That's about as far as I got. And I mean, if that's it for Tekken, I wanted to kind of go into the season 2 stuff. We kind of had a little bit of a, as Sanchez would say, a kerfuffle over the weekend about just who and who might not be in the Street Fighter V season 2 character lineup. As many people know, if you were on Twitter this weekend, you saw a fan rendering of Hinata from Rival Schools pop up as a possible match for one of the silhouettes in the Street Fighter V character lineup in season 2. That is a fan production. The guy drew it based on that, I guess. Like he basically constructed that image of Hinata from that little quarter piece of a silhouette, which is really good art, by the way. Hats off to that guy. Follow him if you want to see more cool art. But it's not official. We don't know. And it kind of got everybody up in arms in a good way, I think. I think this is one of those kind of problems where, like, people heard there was something that was going to happen and then got really excited about it. And now Capcom's like, oh, shit, that's not happening, But maybe, what do we do? Because what we really got in mind probably isn't nowhere near as cool as that. It kind of steals the thunder a little bit. But that doesn't mean that they can't do that. Maybe now they're just like, oh, shit, did you see the hype for Hinata? And she's not even, like, the best Rival Schools character. She's not even Daigo.
Daigo's whack, man.
Kick this guy out of my call, man. No,
it's all about Akira.
Okay, I'll go with you on that. It's definitely, if it was Akira, the fucking internet would have exploded.
Yeah.
So I definitely think that as mass hysteria goes, wasn't the worst possible thing that could happen to Capcom, because now they definitely have a possibility to run with some ideas in the future. I mean, I know I'm hoping to see some Rival Schools characters in Street Fighter V, more than I am in MCI.
I do kind of want to make a point about that whole thing. People need to kind of calm themselves with shit like this and not make assumptions like when they see the internet, because people hit a lot of their jump to conclusions, Mats, and that's why this became an issue in the first place.
Yeah.
So.
I always feel that, like, in this day and age, like, I don't understand what the motivation is other than, like, I don't know, I guess the ability to see if they can do it. But, like, there are so many, like, fakes and things out these days. Like, all the Pokemon fakes and shit that people making. Like, it's just like, I get it. Yeah, it's kind of funny, but like, do people really love misleading people so much that, like, you know, they go out of their way to spend all this time and effort into making things that are fake? Like, what's the appeal to making all these fakes? You know?
So basically, why go for the hard troll when you can just, like, you know, not and not be tarred and feathered by the internet?
Yeah.
I mean, I agree. I definitely think it's kind of weird that, like, somebody goes into what is possibly or most likely a joke to throw people off the trail, and then be like, oh man, like, you know, like, it's just a prank, guys, sorry, you know.
Well, yeah,
it is people need to calm down about it. I agree, but at the same time, if you're gonna do it, like, you should understand that people are fucking crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
you know,
I think in this case, for one thing, people need to realize that this was just sort of a fan's wishful thinking.
Yeah, he was just doing it for fun.
And and I think the bigger thing too is that, you know, this was people who obviously don't speak Japanese saying shit like they knew what was going on, and that's
that was the best.
So, you know, there are plenty of people who do speak Japanese in fighting games. You can probably throw a stone and hit one of them. Maybe just, like, ask. You know, if you're going to go on Twitter and just, like, make wild assumptions, why don't you just ask somebody first? Just maybe.
I feel like people are afraid to ask sometimes. They just want to be the guy that knows everything. I'm like, oh, yeah, I totally know Japanese, even though I'm not even remotely interested in the culture or anything, you know? Like, I just want to be known as that guy that just knows everything. Because I can't understand why people just lie about it. Why would they? It just doesn't make any sense.
That's the thing that I can't wrap my head around is, like, why do people do this shit for no reason?
Trying to be a big shot, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, and then what happens when you get fucking found out? Like, what, you just looking for that 15 minutes and then just peace?
Some people
are. Right? Some people are, yeah, that's true. And it's definitely, like, Abe, what do you think? Like, we've definitely had our fair share of fakers in our line of work.
I think people get really pissed off in, like, within, like, those 2 days. And then, like, they legit want to, like, lynch the dude. But they forget eventually, you know. Like, it doesn't last that long. Like, the hate, like, there's so many things that happen that people want to get like tied up in, that stuff like this will end up like going in the back burner.
Yeah, I don't know. But it's weird that people like really just also want to go out there and be like, I'm gonna just say shit, and it's like, okay, like, if I'm saying shit, I'm obviously going to be an idiot, you know. But,
yeah, I mean, we got to remember too, this is like this is probably the game that gets the most coverage, I guess. So there's gonna be a pretty big reaction, and it sucks when, here's the thing, people start believing it when people who have credibility start retweeting it, and that kind of becomes a problem. So, like, people who have credibility should kind of be a little careful as to how they I guess support those claims.
Just look before you leap is all I'm going to say. And I'm definitely one of those people that needs to do that also. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and lie about how I'm not, you know, I'm not, like, easily fucking goaded into that stuff. Like, I get got all the time because I want things to happen. I dream a lot, you know. My bad.
Hashtag I get got.
I get got on the daily. I got by a father of 4 that was a Raiders fan. He was like, maybe he was 6, I don't know, and he had a wife, reached all over her lap, was like, Raiders! I'm like, come on, man.
Hey, it was a slow burn, too, because it didn't hit you until, like, 5 seconds later what happened.
So I get it. I totally get it, but, you know, we just have to have some decorum here. And, I mean, let's be honest, you know, like, if it was something that was real, then, you know, great. If it's not real, then, you know, whatever. Like, what difference does it make? Like, are you any worse off than before when you even thought Hinata was coming to Street Fighter V, you know? Is your experience with the game any worse off?
Yeah.
Like, were you just like, oh, man, I hope by season 2 Hinata is announced or else I'm done with the game, you know? Been waiting a whole year for this.
Yeah. And, I mean, along with that, too, though, it also kind of makes me feel like the people who also like to leak shit or to be a part of leaks, you know what I mean? Like, that shit kind of fucking bugs me too. It's like, you guys are seriously some like no fun allowed motherfuckers that used to be like, by the way, this shit's happening. I got a fucking leak. I have my multiple sources and this and that and blah blah blah. And it's just like, gee, thanks. You really took all the impact out of an announcement or something else. Like, I get it. You want to know shit, and there are people out there that do know shit. But to be the guy to fucking go out there and just like try and leak shit or whatever, like, really, this is what you want to know? Like,
yeah, it's ridiculous, right? Like,
honestly, I think it's more fun to know about shit and say nothing and then watch how people react rather than just be like, hey guys, I have no fucking basis or any, I have an unsubstantiated claim that I'm just going to have you guys just believe me on this shit, but fucking go wild, and then more speculation, more fakes, more misinformation. It's so fucking stupid. Like, just, I don't know.
Do you think, like, the more ridiculous the rumor, the more likely it is to be true? Like, if there are, like, Mega Man's in fucking Street Fighter 5, you're like,
honestly,
yeah!
Well, Mega Man was in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, as we all remember.
Yeah, I can't even lie. Like,
That's not Mega Man.
That's a mistake.
That's an abomination.
Like, the biggest one of our generation obviously had to be Final Fantasy VII Remake getting announced at E3. And who was it? Silicon Era that ran the leak on it, and he's like, oh yeah, my sources are like totally 100% airtight, man. Like, if you don't want to believe me, fine, get out of here. I don't care. And it's just like, we've been through this for years. Why should you be any different than anybody else, you know? And then it just turns out to be true, and it's like, okay, cool. Now I feel like I was half expecting it, and I was half mad at you for bringing it up again, you know?
Yeah, like, if you're not thinking about something and it happens, you're, like, going to be way more excited, you know?
Yeah.
Imagine
how excited were you for Shenmue 3?
I was pretty excited for that, honestly, but because I just didn't think it was going to happen.
Exactly.
I had given up on The Last Guardian because they said it was going to happen, and then it didn't, and then it did, and then
now everybody wishes it didn't. I don't know.
I don't know. I have the game, but I haven't played it. I did. I don't know why I bought it. I told myself I wasn't going to buy it, and then I bought it.
All right, so I only got only one spoiler for you because I watched the playthrough video of it.
And,
like,
don't, Chris, shut up. Don't do it.
I'm just talking about game mechanics wise.
That's not a spoiler then.
What?
Oh no, it's a game mechanic thing. That fucking thing can eat you.
Ah, you son of a bitch!
Well, that takes the fun out of that, figuring that one out.
I mean, I don't know how to trigger it. It just happens. It's like a glitch or some shit.
The bird can shit.
This is weird. Anyway.
No, but yeah, I mean, just like going back to all that, like, I'm way more happy when something gets announced and I wasn't thinking about it. Like, imagine if, like, we had Christmas every year, but you didn't know what day it was, and just fucking one random day Santa's like, next week is Christmas! Holy shit, Santa! Fucking rolls out. Oh my god! Thanks for the fucking Nintendo Switch. Oh, what the fuck, Santa? It's July. What's going on? That would be way more exciting than rather than thinking about, oh man, I gotta make.
I gotta do my Christmas shopping, man.
I gotta get my shit in order. I gotta make sure I got the money. Nah,
TV's
fuck
telling me
that.
not to fucking, get depressed and stuff and drink myself into a stupor, and I'll do it when I feel like it, damn it.
Yeah. I don't know.
So yeah, I mean, like, yeah, the leak culture. I'm gonna call it leak culture because it's like fucking prevalent at this point. It's so prevalent that there are fake leak sites dedicated to making fake leaks.
Yeah.
And people post them like they're real without any sources.
Is this
or
what
any
happened to all of those kids from fucking elementary whose dad worked at Nintendo and shit?
Oh god!
Like, did it just be like, I'm never stopping. I'm going all in, baby. Give me servers. Get me fucking Web 2.0. I'm lying all day.
Just like my dad works at Nintendo.com. Like,
yeah, fucking.
That should be like our fake like news site. My dad is working at Nintendo.com and plays Super Mario 72.
Yeah. Yeah, the new Mario game's really cool. Mario gets a katana the entire time. Luigi's the anti-hero.
Oh, Luigi's the new edgelord?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He stops being scared and he starts being emo.
Damn.
Like you eat mushrooms and you trip out like hella hard. Actually, I can't even joke about that. Fucking Let It Die is amazing.
In the intro, the brothers have a falling out and Luigi just throws his hat on the floor. It's over. He never puts it back on. until the very end. In a very stunning scene. It's Oscar worthy. My dad works at Nintendo.
I don't know. I think there is definitely a place for leaks because I think people want to know.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that part of the frustration, I think, with companies becomes that everything has to be this grandiose announcement on a stage at some big event. So all of the announcements that people are waiting for come at like 3 times a year. And you never hear about anything any other time. And I think that's why you have leaks and why people do leak information is because you have gamers who are hungry for news all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll put it, and honestly, like, I definitely think that it benefits the development and publishing companies because it does keep people interested in the game when there's nothing happening. You know, like if there's a leak that seems somewhat substantial, people will be dissecting it for at least a week.
Yeah.
And then it'll blow over. And then who knows what comes out next week? Maybe there's a convention next week where everything gets proven true or false.
I mean, everybody's
But either way,
chomping at
it gets
the
people
bit
interested.
for anything, like with the Nintendo Switch right now. Fucking, what's his name, pulling out the fake one or whatever.
Oh,
People
shit,
are losing
dude.
their goddamn minds.
Yeah.
Fucking, but like, again, another hoax, another fucking, just, what the fuck was that? You know, was that really fun?
That was crack cocaine. That's what that was.
Yeah, Etika, I believe his name is. Fucking, I don't know. Like, I get it, but it's just, is everything nowadays just like clickbait? You can't even have a conversation anymore, other than just be like, "Fucking, I need to pull the CPM so fast."
What do you think this show is, man?
You know, there are actually clickbait tweets now.
I know.
And when I say clickbait tweets, I mean it's just a tweet worded very ambiguously and has like no point or anything. It's just like, hey, I'm just gonna leave this question up in the air for you. There's nothing to click. It's people posing a question or like just a problem and trying to get a discussion started with it, and it doesn't really work. It's just as dumb as normal clickbait, which Hell Pockets likes to retweet onto my feed.
Oh yeah, that's just hilarious, man.
No,
It's like
I don't
taking
like
a
that
dump on your
at all.
front lawn.
That's
Yeah, if you guys want to know more about my thoughts on clickbait, check out this link. iplaywinner.com/lordwalkmanclickbait.com/HTML
These nuts.
$100. Subscribe to IPW Premium. You can see my making of clickbait.
Other
articles.
writers hate him. Find out how walking.
Other journalists hate.
I will say
does? No research.
it did keep people hyped for Street Fighter V at a time that everybody had already gotten a little used to knowing that Akuma is in the game, but not being able to play him yet. And so there was a lull, like a brief one, and that kind of just like spiked interest back to like 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say that that's a win for Capcom, and they've been playing this whole thing out masterfully the entire year. So I mean, it's not entirely a bad thing for them to fall ass backwards in the hype.
No, yeah. I mean, there's no such thing as bad publicity in this kind of sense when it comes to leaks. But it's just like, yeah, I get it. You want rumblings, you want people talking, you want people excited and shit. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's like, if you know something and you're gonna be like, you want to leak that shit, like that's kind of like a fucking asshole move.
Yeah.
Personally.
You know what's not an asshole move? Paying for 16 players to fly out to Tokyo for KOF's top 16 Four Kings tournament in February.
That does sound very nice.
That does sound pretty good, right? Like, you know, they're gonna do it. You know, if you guys were paying attention to SNK's Twitter and other social media outlets, they did announce that the Four Kings tournament was going to occur. And what date was that? February 18th, I think. Let me check.
So they are in fact gonna fly out all those people.
That's what they said.
That's what the press release said.
Yeah. Now the immediate question is, where are they gonna get 16 people?
It's a good question.
4 right now that we know of.
You're gonna have 12 qualifiers in a month? I guess 2 months.
There's another 2-ish months to do this. That's cool, but how are we going to get that many tournaments done? What are they going to
Hey.
do? Oh, also, it says, well, let me reread this if I remember right. It definitely says they're going to do something else. Carry on. Let me.
I was gonna say Namco did it all in one day. And I don't recommend it, but it's doable.
So I'm guessing that it's gonna be mostly people from that region.
So that was one of the things that they mentioned was if they don't get, well, they didn't say this verbatim if they don't get 16 people in qualifiers, but they did say that it would be made up of people who qualified at previous tournaments and invited people.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. It says here 16 top level players selected via previous tournament qualifiers or invites will battle it out until the 4 finalists, the 4 kings, have been decided. So they're inviting people.
Yeah.
So
and I can't say that's a terrible thing.
Fingers crossed, guys.
I'm not a fan of inviting people, something like this, where they're making people earn spots, and then some people are just going to have it handed to them. Why?
What's funny is the people I would have invited are the people who won spots.
Yep.
Basically,
you have the people I'd have invited. 2 of them are already
Evo champs.
The other person I'd invite would be Mad KOF. That's it. Like these are
Mad
the
KOF.
I would invite. Everyone else would have to earn their way in. But even then, I would not want to invite people.
So that would be 5 people with 11 more spots. They could have 11 last chance qualifiers in Tokyo. I doubt they're going to do that, obviously. That's just crazy talk. But, yeah, I don't even know who else they would invite. Like,
you got to think about this too, though. Like, who's going to have a passport in that time that tournament happens and they qualify to be able to go?
And they get time to go off from work or something, you know?
Yeah, like, that's not easy, man. I mean, you just think about what happened with Capcom Cup. Like, dudes fell off. And that was known a while ago when Capcom Cup was going to happen. Like, they just announced the dates for this. So, I don't know.
It's definitely a rough.
It's going to be interesting. I think that some people, you probably get a passport expedited if you do it now.
Yeah.
You have it. But I agree with you on getting time off from work. I know they're paying for flight and accommodations, but you're still going to have spending money to eat and whatever. So it is very last minute, and yeah, it's another thing. Like we talked about this, and we've talked about it, and we've talked about it. It's just another thing that it's like, man, this feels so rushed and half-assed.
I mean, I'll level with you right now. Like if they want me and A to do commentary, they had to ask us like last month. Like doing this now and then saying, "Hey, you guys coming?" And they haven't, by the way, communicated with us or anything like that. But it's one of those things where like we're just not readily available to drop everything in less than 2 months and go to a foreign country for who knows how long. And do some work,
dude.
Who knows how much money?
It's not even just that. It's like, what's the situation? Like, how are they planning on like figuring out where we're gonna stay? How are we gonna figure out the flights? And like, is it the type of thing where they're gonna pay for us outright or they're gonna reimburse us? Like a bunch of things like that. Like once you get into the details, like it would spook me anyways. I'd probably be like, "No, I'm good."
If it was reimbursement, I would be off the table. That's got to be paid up front, man, because that's like at least $1,000 getting out there.
Oh yeah,
you're not getting that back immediately.
And another issue is it's spread out into 2 separate days on 2 different months in 2 different regions.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah.
So you have the top 16, which is going to be whittled down to top 4. That's in Japan. And then top 4, the grand finals of the event is going to be held in March in China. Which, if a U.S. player qualifies, it's going to be difficult for certain players to get visas. Not certain, most people in the States to get a visa to go to China. It's a pain in the ass. It's not easy. And I don't like it.
And that's not even counting the fact that don't know the dates in March.
Yeah, mid-March.
They're just like sometime in March. So it's like, if for whatever reason we don't know until even next month, It might be hard to get off.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And on top of that, getting, let's say, hypothetically, let's say Reynolds goes out there. He's a U.S. representative. He would have to take at least 3-4 days off for each event from work. And
he just started a new job, didn't he?
Well, yeah, that's beside the point. But like, how many jobs will allow you to do that in back-to-back months?
I mean,
mine will, but
not just that though. Like, are you willing to give up your hard-earned time off on a video game event when it's like I mean, the dude's married. He could spend time with vacationing and stuff, and
that's
like
64 hours, man. Holy shit.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah,
and
man.
I'm guessing he's gonna have to take time off for Evo too. So that's a lot of time off.
Fuck, man.
Yeah, we'll see how this pans out. More this week for stuff. We'll see what the hell they decide to say.
I'm glad that they announced something and that it's no longer under the rug of whatever the heck they were using to cover it with. So at least they're moving forward with something. And we've obviously got the 1.1 patch coming and everything.
Yeah.
And Evo announcement. Hopefully, fingers crossed, they are also got their fingers crossed for an Evo announcement. So there are other things to look forward to. And this is just kind of something that I think had to be done, you know? I feel like this had to go off one way or the other. So I personally would have preferred that they delayed it because, as I said last week, early 2017 is technically early 2017 until it's 2018. That is not completely unheard of. Delays are not unheard of. You could say it was going to happen in early 2017, and then we were like, yeah, you know what? We've decided we could do a much better product by putting it on mid-2017 or late 2017. Or maybe even waiting until 2018. Or whatever. That's just me, though. That's what I would do. I'm not, giving SNK advice on how to run their business or anything like that. That's just something that I would do if
Chris,
it was my decision.
I'm going to interrupt you really quick. We're having issues with Discord right now. Many of us just keep disconnecting and reconnecting to the call. I think Anthony's dead. Paul, you here?
I'm here, but I'm going to jump on Skype.
Okay. Abe, you here?
I'm here.
All right. So Anthony's the only one not here. Now carry on, Chris. Sorry about that. I just needed to let people know that we're having technical difficulties, much like last week.
Sorry, it's just going into my monologue mode anyway,
I was going to say, actually, that the way I feel about it is I just want to get it over with, man. I just want this tournament to happen already,
right?
And so we can move forward.
Right. We've got a big year. We potentially got a humongous year ahead of us. So this is, as much as I hate to say it, this is kind of not where my focus is. As a KOF competitor, as a KOF commentator, as a KOF fan, this kind of is on the bottom level after Evo, more patches, World Championship Series.
Yeah, Evo needs to be top priority for the game because people keep saying King of Fighters or KO 14 is dead. Evo should prove otherwise, but again, we can't solely rely on Evo for tournament numbers. Every other tournament needs to support, and every region needs to support. So we'll have final round, which will most likely get 100 to 150 minimum for the game. There's going to be combo breaker, which will pull in also 100, and so on. We'll have decent events leading up to Evo. But we need to see how everything plays out. And if the game doesn't get into Evo, those numbers will dip, for sure. Because there will be players who refuse to play the game if it's not in Evo.
Yeah, and I mean, that would suck. But that's how the community works now. And I'm okay with that. I wish it was different. I wish people just played what they wanted to play. And I will still push for that at every opportunity. But yeah, it's just a fact of, people don't want to spend time on stuff that's just not going to keep in step with the Evo lineup. People make money off of that. People are willing to travel when there's money on the line. If there's nothing on the line, people are just we're just, just a bunch of guys playing in the garage. It's fun on a weekend, but I'm not making plans for it.
Yeah, and right now there are events that are putting up money. This past weekend there was a small event in Vegas, which they put up 500. It's not a lot. But for what was it, 19, 20 people they pulled in? 500 is a nice chunk of money for that. NEC has, I believe, $1,000 additional pod. And NEC historically is pretty good for KOF. Pretty sure they're going to pull at least 100 in.
I also want to point out that NEC was probably the first shot fired for KOF 13 console.
Yes,
because I believe like that's the one that Reynolds won. It was humongous. It got a lot of hype behind it.
Yep.
And after that, everybody wanted to play the game.
Mm-hmm.
So it's almost like a grand tradition that this also might be the first really big KOF 14 tournament, because people on the East Coast are still riding pretty hard for this game. People in Midwest are going in on this game. I honestly don't think the game is dead at all. I don't think it's like rip-roaring good time or anything.
The game is not dead. Like, people saying the game is dead are just dumb. I understand, like, people trying to bash on it saying they don't want to play it, they don't see people playing it, it's nice. The game isn't dead. The game is still getting support from tournaments. The game is... The King of Fighters is getting support from SNK. Think about that for a second. This is the first time they're actually supporting one of their games. That's big. Why would they support that game? If the game is dead, they're not going to put any of their money into it. They're just going to work on the next game.
Right. And now, so this is incentive for them to do more tournaments, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's dead. That doesn't mean they're trying to revitalize it. That means they're rewarding you, I would say. This is a reward for your continued community participation, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm. So, well, that's the thing. Like, everyone says, oh, well, the game's going to die without SNK support. And that's great. Like, you can say that all you want. The truth is it needs support from both the community and the company. Mm-hmm. Like, what was it? For 20 years, roughly 20 years, we as a community, just as a whole, we supported the games on our own. We didn't have the companies helping us up until, like, what, the past 6-7 years or something like that?
Yeah.
So
if you're an SNK player, you didn't have it till this year.
Yeah, no, exactly. And people need to understand that company support is great, but a company won't support something the community doesn't back. Like, if the community is not playing it, if the community isn't buying it, going to events for it, what the hell is the purpose of the company supporting it? So if the community stops playing a game, the company doesn't support it, it's the company's fault. People will blame the company. And don't get me wrong, SNK has made some poor decisions historically, but they're trying to do better now, and that's nice. But what needs to happen is the community needs to do the same. The hell was that sound?
Yeah, it's kind of like, say you're trying to promote something on Twitter, and all your homies give you likes, and none of them retweet it, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of like, damn. Okay. Thanks, bro.
You know, some people were talking about this on Twitter. Obviously about, like, well, hey, what can the KOF community do? And in some cases, there really isn't all that much that the individual players can do unless you have the means to give the game a stage.
Mm-hmm.
And by that I mean, I think we all could agree that had it not been for Southtown and I Play Winner, KOF 13 would not have taken off at all in this country.
Mm-hmm.
That basically those forces pushed the game and propelled it and put it in front of the national audience and made the game look exciting and fun. And without that, KOF is just another game. And its status as just another game means that, you know, it's going to be third or a second game for people, and that is not going to grow it the way a lot of people are hoping for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. It's and the thing is we're really gonna start going into these tournaments that are gonna give it the opportunity to shine. It's just the community has to be there, you know. And I really do feel like, for instance, like NEC, the East Coast, those guys really do represent, man. And there's players all over. It's just we haven't really been able to come into, like, I guess, a laser focus into how we are going to go about stuff as a community. And I guess it kind of follows suit with SNK too, man. Like, they do help us out a lot, don't get me wrong. We've never had this type of support ever. it's just a little confusing. We want to get behind them so bad, but just the way that they reveal stuff is fucking weird, man. Like,
well, it's not so much that it's weird. It's just bad.
Yeah.
That's it. They just simply go about it the wrong way. And I don't know if that's because the higher ups or the marketing people. I don't know exactly why that is. But they're like, here, we'll just use the announcement of the King of Fighters Cup. They announced it the very next day. Oh, hey, this tournament, here's a qualifier. Like, no one had time to prep for it. No one had time for anything. And again, they said that's a qualifier. Then there's going to be Scene. There's going to be SCR, Canada Cup. And then we got no more information after that. It's been 3-4 months now since the announcement, I believe. And there's nothing.
And it's hard, like I kept telling them, like I tell everybody, it's hard to build excitement around something you know very little about. You can still play the game, you can still enjoy the game, you can still love it and whatnot, but you can't say anything about what's going to happen at the end of this World Championship Series thing. So you start looking forward to EVO or any other tournament you can have. And then now that it hurts when you don't have anything to look forward to after that. Then you start thinking like, oh God, what am I going to do? Like, I backed this game and I don't think it's working out and people are telling me it's dead, and then you start tripping.
I think one of the biggest things that a lot of games, actually, smaller games, I would include Guilty Gear in this, along with KOF and what else? Just a few other games. Even MK to an extent, although MK is so much bigger, they lack a real ambassador, like a person who gets people excited about the game and basically makes it a game that appeals to a massive audience. Because so many of these communities are seen as very insular, and that the top players have such personalities for good or for bad. And the honest thing is that top players don't need to be selling a game, but if they do, then it makes the game more inviting. When you have somebody who is personable and they're the best and they talk about the game, that makes the game more approachable. And when you don't have that, then it makes the game seem much more distant and, oh, these people are not helpful, etc., etc.
Yeah. I like the recommendations in chat. Mike Ross.
Yeah.
Dr. SDR. That Dr. SDR guy, whoo, that man.
I know a lot of people give Mike a lot of shit for being, fourth place Mike Ross, but Mike was top 8. Mike was placing, like, and
well, I mean, he placed
sort
fourth.
of parlayed
Come
that.
on, man.
What?
He placed 4th.
Jesus, it's like twist the knife.
3rd or 2nd or 1st, but he got 4th.
I mean, but you know what? It sort of became a brand for him.
Yeah, it really did.
And it gave him notoriety. And he turned that into something, So it really is about having the ability to draw people in, to actually have the personality to say, hey, you know what? Not only do I think my game is good, but here's why I want you to play my game. I want you to come enjoy my game with me, instead of the usual, hey, come play this game, it's cool, I'll beat your ass. That doesn't bring people into the game.
I could understand that argument. And I think that there's people that are coming around to it, but to an extent, to be honest with you, I really think the problem is this is such a multicultural game to me, or at least that's the way it's perpetuated, that there's such dividing lines between what groups of people communicate, because I feel like there's inner circles within inner circles that none of those circles communicate with each other. And for instance, I just said that East Coast is pretty great, right? But like, I kind of don't know who I can talk to over there, or like, I'm not looking for like a figurehead or anything. It's just where can I contact that community, Or maybe I'm like totally oblivious that like I actually like talk to these people and I don't even know where they're from, I don't know, but like even the SoCal community, like not everybody is what's it called, not everybody's first language is English either, you know, and especially in SoCal, a lot of us are bilingual here, and a lot of us feel comfortable speaking certain languages. So, you know, that already creates a certain space that may alienate other players that don't communicate a certain way, you know. So it's kind of complicated sometimes.
So
No,
I'm wondering though. Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, I was going to say I think you're completely right. I think that when you have groups that are separated by something like a language barrier, and in this case, the language barrier also comes with a culture barrier in a lot of cases. Like, you know, groups definitely, in the KO I've seen the groups definitely do kind of pair off into their, like you said, their own little circles of players, or even the people, you know, that's just from their really small area. Like, not, I mean, you know, we all know this from SoCal. There are people who play only within like 10 or 15 mile radius. That's it. So, yeah, it's just a tough thing. What were you gonna say, Chris?
I was gonna say, like, what would the ideal version of that look like? Even though these people do have all these different backgrounds and whatnot and speak different languages, like, would the ideal version of that be? I
just think that it's that they would all have the ability to trust somebody to run good events when they say they're going to. Like,
yeah,
and to show up.
That's a good start.
But you know, like, and this is why, you know, we've had this discussion on the show about frustration with that, is because, you know, you had Wild Wallace trying to do that, a guy who literally was just going to Super to try to run and stream KOF 13 events on his own, you know, not getting anything for it, just because he loved the game, and he just kind of got left high and dry and burned him out. And you need people who want to do that, but it's diminishing returns, because if you keep burning them out, they're not coming back.
Yeah, SoCal scene currently, not just for KOF, but for various games, because of that, you know, they just kind of have this wandering feeling, I guess. Like, I go down there, and I remember there were people that wanted to stream KOF. We had at least 2 or 3 people that wanted to stream it back in 13 days. And those people moved on. Nobody really picked up the helm for that. And now there's basically only one game in town, which exists at Wednesday Night Fights. And they're not putting that as part of the regular lineup and putting it on the mainstream anymore. So the scene kind of needed to pull itself by its own bootstraps.
Currently, with Wednesday Night Fights, after talking to a lot of the players and the CEOs out there, apparently it's all the KOF community's fault for not showing. Maya has given everybody, he's given access to everybody. It's a typical thing he does with Wednesday Night Fights, where he holds the event and he gives people access to run their game. I was told by several different people within that work with N4 Level Up and some of the people in the KOF community that it's just, it doesn't happen. There's no one there holding the tournament, running the tournament. And when time for tournaments come, people just want to play casual instead, and they don't get any stream time for it.
I you know what? And that's something that does bug me about the scene. I can only speak for the scene down here, where it's like, you know what? I just want to try to get some games in. I don't care about anything else. You know, let's just play. I want to play Homeboy. Or this is the first time I ever seen this caliber of a dude play. Let's all session with this dude. And they kind of don't really care about the tournament. You know, I get it, but at the same time, our scene has to understand that there's a bigger picture than that, and I think that's what we've been struggling with, where, you know, we put other things before what actually matters. Now, at the same time, though, guys, I mean, a lot of these dudes just look at it as a video game at the end of the day for them. You know, it's just the way that we interpret it as a scene, or as people that I guess are that help run the tournaments or are leaders in the community, how we try to sell that. You know, let's not burn our bridges. They used to tell this to Brandon and Mondo when they would get mad at me because people wouldn't show up. I'd be like, dude, I'm letting you know that this isn't going to work because dudes aren't going to show up every single week, and let's consider a different way of organizing this, but people were so adamant that they could do it until they couldn't do it anymore, and then they kind of burned themselves out, you know?
Well, and I think what you were talking about, that the wandering feeling of SoCal, we do harp on KOF, but it hasn't just been KOF. When I moved out to SoCal, the Guilty Gear scene had problems with that, and ST too. But both those scenes in recent years have gotten a lot stronger, in part, and I'd say a large part, to people actually putting up time to have sessions. See,
Yeah.
like part of the problem you're saying right now is that people want to sesh out, so they don't care about tournament. Well, if they have a place to do that, like a central place, then tournaments can become more of a focus, where people feel like, oh, I've had this time to play, and now, now I have, okay, I've practiced, and I feel like I'm ready, I can play in tournament.
That's actually a really good argument, yeah.
Because I know that for the longest time, we didn't have anything in SoCal Guilty Gear until we started hosting. And then once we had hosted for a little while, then UCI started to have their own scene, and then even KO Lounge sprang up, and like people had places to play casuals, so that then, Wednesday Night Fights had that run where, they had more than 16 people for Guilty Gear for several weeks, until basically, life intervened for the TOs and they couldn't do it anymore. And for ST, it's similar with Miller Time and El Trouble, Tanya and Eugene, basically dedicating themselves to that game and getting Super Guns and having people over to their house to play Super Turbo and organizing everything. Like, they are the backbone of that community in SoCal now. They work their asses off, and they've done it. And so people will show up every week to play. But you have to have something more than just the tournament, or people aren't coming.
That's true, man. Now that I think about it, it actually makes sense why people just want to session out, because they probably don't ever get to play each other outside of that.
Outside of tournament, yeah.
Yeah, man, dude, online by itself sucks. Like, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Like, you can learn a lot with online, and it's great, but you still need to adjust back to offline if you're going to try to play seriously.
Why can't we have more round robins?
That's a good question. I mean, we definitely have people not showing up to the tournaments, just run a round robin. That's what we used to do in Southtown when people didn't show up for like a 8-man bracket, just run a round robin.
No, this is what we used to do back in the day in the KOF scene. Just SNK scene in general. Whenever we didn't have enough people for a tournament, which wouldn't be hard to do, we could pull in 8, whatever. We had 7, boom, round robin. Make it easy. Like we were able to do before, we can still do it now. Everyone gets to play each other. Everyone gets training. Everyone gets practice. It's cool.
And think about how great it is for the people that duck whenever Reynold and Mr. KOF show up. That way they can at least get some wins under the belt.
Yeah, you're always liable to get one. Take it from me.
Yeah. I mean, I might be there, Wallace might be there. You're bound to beat one of us.
But that's growth, Like, I think that makes people feel good too when they can do that, and they're like, "Hey, I beat this guy that I see on stream, and he's really good, and maybe I'm okay too. Maybe I can do this."
Yeah.
And then you get somebody who takes it seriously.
Oh, you mean when they take it too seriously?
Oh yeah, when
Look, the size of my E-Pride is on the line right now. Like I'm on S-Class right now. Fucking people play me up real hard on stream saying I'm the god among KOF. I can't besmirch that record.
I cannot disappoint the people. It's the people that depend on me.
Yeah, I can't lose, so therefore I can't even play. Because I might lose.
See, that's why people rage quit, because they're like, I cannot lose in front of all these people.
Yeah.
It'll destroy the country.
It fucks up the brand.
But yeah, so there needs to be some
the
kind of
brand.
Oh boy.
It's like the Titus brand.
That's like I'm done.
Man, you fucked him up.
God.
Jesus Christ. But yeah, there needs to be something like in between all these tournaments, like you say. I know you guys were mentioning Southtown. I had to step away for a second. The reason why Southtown worked so well was, one, it was an arcade, so people got to come there and play KOF whenever they wanted to. B, it was bi-weekly, so in between the weeks where it wasn't happening, there was plenty of time for people to just go to each other's houses, go to sessions. Like, in NorCal, we do a lot of bar sessions now, so like people are like going to like local dive bars, just plugging in and playing now. So in that kind of a bi-weekly setup, you get more time to actually develop your game in between these higher pressure tournaments. And I think finally, it was just a lot of friendships developed because of those sessions, not so much because of the tournaments. And so people wanted to keep showing up because if they weren't playing KOF, at least they were hanging out with their friends. And I'll admit it myself, like, part of the reason why I still do this is because I get to hang out with all you guys. Like, I still love playing, but I mostly go to EVO to see you guys, even if just not for 5 minutes before I get whisked away to do a bunch of production work. But it's fun for me.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'll never be super competitive, but I'm like, hey, if I can see Gibby, Tony, Paul, Alex, and Abe under one roof for like an hour, then I'm going to go.
Yeah, that's totally true, man. Because I've totally gone to Wednesday night fights just to see you guys. So
yeah, it's usually always more of an incentive because even when I always forget the time scale of how broke I was like 2 years ago. You know, there's stuff that I backed on like Indiegogo or other shit. Where I'm just like, oh, that's finally coming out. How come I didn't, put more money into this? I'm like, oh right, I was fucking broke, but I remember I would still do the best I could to just make sure I save my money or spend that little bit of money I could to make sure to go out when like the squad was there, other people, just trying my best to get to any event. That's why Southtown was a nice place because while I definitely couldn't go living pretty far and not having a lot of money, making out every chance that I could was always something pretty special. So, also I miss Harrison. I want to hang out with that guy somewhere now that all this Capcom Cup shit's over.
You want to hang out with watered down Gibby? What's wrong with you?
Well, regular Gibby's too far.
Watered down Gibby?
Watered down Gibby.
I prefer him like to be the 7-Up to Gibby's Sprite.
Well, because I'm like Grant Hill, right? So you're trying to say I'm great.
Yeah, you got a bad back like him too. Shit.
Yep. See, you understand. See, Chris, this is why I like this. So, since we're bullshitting right now, we're gonna do the Mark of the Wolves raffle right now. So
Right
we
now?
have
Okay.
right now.
Maybe I won.
Do you want me to text the Hound, or do you want to do it after?
All right. Okay. We'll see. I'm gonna start pulling winners. There's 4 winners. It's Mark of the Wolves on Steam, developed by .mu. So
we're passionate about classic gaming.
The codes were given to us by SNK, so big thanks to them. Be sure to follow them on Twitter at SNK Official, I believe it is. Let's see. First winner, LVT Fade. All right.
All right, I know that guy. He's got a loud mouth and he
I
swears
know
a
that.
lot.
I know that guy too.
It's you?
Okay. Next winner, D plus B. I know this name.
D plus B. I think that's...
Shogundo. It's Shogundo.
Oh, okay.
It's just a smiley face. I'm stupid. It's D minus underscore plus B. So
These are all
okay,
great
Shogundo.
friends of the show.
I've never actually quite understood what that smiley face is conveying.
Headphones. Headphones.
Oh.
Son of a bitch. I'm not even going to say this winner. He knows who he is. Fuck him.
Hound inevitably always wins.
The Hound wins everything we do.
He should be forced
Do
to
you
play the
realize
game.
as you started to even go into the thing to pull names, everybody already started congratulating him in the chat? They're like, congrats, Hound!
Oh, god damn it.
Dude, all right, so no, not only did the Hound win a .emu copy of Mark of the Wolves for Steam, but he also won the special deluxe package where he gets a month-long training session with Gibby, nonstop. Pack your bags. You're taking a whole month off from work. You're just going to play Gibby and Mark of the Wolves for 30 days straight.
Yep.
You're also going to have to carry water for him up hills and
I
shit.
can't wait to see the Hound be able to react to 0 frames. It's going to be crazy.
And
He
final
just defended
winner.
after the Flash.
Oh, sick. We got La Parca as the final winner.
All right.
Yo!
So if you guys are in chat, send me a DM. My DMs are open on Twitter, so just shoot me a message.
Slide into Gibby's DMs.
Yeah, slide in my DMs. You know, I welcome all sliders, except White Castle sliders. Those are disgusting.
Those are pretty gross, yeah.
You
but
guys are haters.
I've
No,
never
it is
had
legitimately
Terrible,
bad.
man. Terrible.
Like, it's not
It's
matter.
great.
Ugh.
It's fabulous.
It's like yoga mat.
But yeah, shoot me a message.
You've apparently
and-
never chewed on a yoga mat before.
Apparently I have. I ate at Subway for the last 5 years.
I apologize.
All right, so congratulations to our winners. Hope you enjoy the game. Yeah, it's had its issues, but hopefully this time they actually get some people out there on their squad to actually patch some things with the netcode and stuff. Although I've heard that offline is not bad. So that's fine. At least you can play it on your computer without going into a GGPO or MAME emulator. Man, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at this tweet from Woo, and it's the fucking best.
Okay. Yeah, so I saw this tweet, and
I'm gonna put it up now.
I did not smile. I did not laugh. I just saw it in my head. I'm like, "Oh, this is amazing! Holy shit!" And then I put it in the SDR Discord, and you hear Hell Pockets like giggle like an idiot the moment he sees it.
Yeah,
Chris?
I saw that shit. Now.
So basically, what it's saying, I think what it's saying on my limited Japanese translation is like, "What is your game trauma?"
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like, well, what's
video games?
Yeah, what's your most traumatic experience in gaming?
And it's Woo.
Yeah. No, this is Woo, the second place finisher in Evo 2013.
No,
who
yeah,
plays
I know.
second to Reynold. Okay, Reynold, the guy who decided to 6-0 him after being down, or after being brought down to the last game, and then Reynold just turned it on and destroyed him. So that makes this all the better.
That was a great match.
Yeah,
It was.
Speaking of which, I didn't retweet it from SDR. Let's go do that.
I did not. Oh, you didn't. Okay. I think everybody should retweet this. This is let this man know that he is among friends. That his pain is welcome. We all saw the ass beating he got after this. So you know.
You know what? Speaking of which, I'm just gonna go ahead and shoot this to Reynolds really quick. So Reynolds knows.
Reynolds like, okay.
Hey man, you remember?
Reynolds is gonna be like, okay, I guess I'm going to Tokyo now.
Leave that man alone with his pain.
Dude.
Right? Remember when you made this man wish that he stopped playing video games?
I think Woo.
No, I just sent this to Reynolds, and I put in quote. It's basically saying, most traumatic gaming experience.
I think like Woo might be the first ever player to throw his stick in a grand finals of Evo.
Is that really a throw or is it more of a flop?
Yeah, dude, that was not a throw.
That was more like he just kind of pushed it away like, I don't need this anymore.
The best part is it landed upside down on the stick and it just kept scrolling through like the options afterwards. I was like, oh man, he's on tilt. Oh, that's great. Poor Woo. I hope he comes back.
Glad he has a good sense of humor about this event because
it only took him like 5 years.
So it's obviously trauma. The guy had to deal with it for a while.
Yeah.
My doctor says this is how I get over this shit.
Dude, imagine how bad it is to have to go to Chokers Anonymous every week. It's like I was on the verge of winning. I was one character away, and then I got 6-0'd. Like, I don't know how to feel.
Chokers Anonymous.
That was truly snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
Is like the moderating guy there like fucking Makoto Mike? I hope I lose. Real close, real people.
Oh my god!
You didn't choke.
Yeah, I did.
You willed it. You willed it.
One more game, dude. That's like that predates the Warriors losing with a 3-game lead. Like Woo was the original choke artist.
Well, no, wasn't it the Yankees down, or they were up 3-0 against Boston, and then Boston came back and swept them?
Well, when was that? That was
to make it to the World Series. This is like within the past 10 years.
That was what the song was about, right? When they won the World Series that year.
Sure.
I guess I don't know. I don't watch baseball. I just know that one Dropkick Murphys song.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know what song he's talking about. That's why.
It's called like I'm heading up to Boston or something like that.
Crazy like. Oh no, it's Tessie.
Or
there
maybe,
we go.
or yeah, you're talking about when they actually started doing Tessie.
Yeah, and they put the Boston winning the World Series in the beginning of the song. Oh my god.
Boston.
We can write that about Woo now.
We are gonna have a show next week, right?
We are gonna have a holiday special show next week. That's right. I'll be wearing a Christmas hat.
Ooh,
Sick.
Yep.
Special.
Okay.
Festive.
So if you missed out on the chance of getting this here Steam code, next week we'll be giving out PS4 Mark of the Wolves. And the same
Everybody's
fashion-
like, damn it.
Ready for
Congratulations,
So-
Hound.
Yeah.
No, I will disqualify the Hound from this contest. Goddamn. Well, he's not disqualified. The only people disqualified from the contest are us, obviously. Anyone associated with I Play Winner, Spooky, and that's about it.
Son of a bitch!
Yeah. Oddly enough, Walkman is a name that got pulled twice.
I'm just trying to spread the word, and I'm like, I know I'm not winning, but this probably looks bad every time I retweet these tweets.
I'm just trying to support the show, guys.
You spread the word, and it works out. It's great. The only downside is, our names will pop up every now and then. And one of the raffles I pulled, serious shit. It was Paul, Hell Pockets, Hell Pockets, Hell Pockets. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, God damn it. And I just removed the names.
They really want me to play Market of Wolves. I refuse.
No, not Market of Wolves. This was, I think this was the Quamba drawing? I forgot. It was one of the drawings earlier this year. Yeah.
Thea, get down.
Yeah, Thea, get down.
Just to hear in the background. Get down.
Okay. So we have 10 minutes left. Chris, you want to do the Q&A session?
We have no questions.
No, we have one question.
We have one question. Where, I'm moving
that I saw. Hold on. I got it. This is from good friend of the show and Anime Evo co-founder. I forget if he had help finding it. DJ Cream. He asked,
crap.
Is there a lot to cover this week? If not, what's the Pockets pick on WWE Roadblock?
My Pockets pick is I probably won't even watch the fucking thing. Let me see the card. Let me see the card real quick. I can kind of glean it from that. Somebody send me the card.
What is Roadblock? Is this a Raw or a SmackDown event?
It's Raw.
Oh, I don't even fucking. It's not Bray Wyatt. I don't give a shit. Roman Reigns is
the permanent Pockets pick is Bray Wyatt until he finally wins something.
He won something though. He won. He started winning.
I know they got the tag belt.
Yeah. Whatever. It's better than nothing.
I mean, it's pretty. They're a pretty good tag team. It's not bad.
Well, they're basically they had 4 dudes in it. Them having the tag team belts kind of made sense eventually, I guess. Technically there was 5 at a certain point. Them not having the tag.
Yeah, I guess. Well, I don't think they've never been 5 all at once.
Yeah.
Haven't there? No, that's true. Because when Luke Harper came back, he was like, "Oh, I'm face again."
The most was 4.
Yeah.
Hold on. So, what are your thoughts here on Sami Zayn versus Braun Strowman?
Why?
Big strong man versus little Sami Zayn.
Sami Zayn ends up with another injury and is out for several more months.
Sami Zayn has Braun Strowman's mustache or some shit. I don't know.
Why is his name Braun Strowman instead of Braun Strongman?
Braun Strowman.
They're trying not to do something so on the nose, I think.
I'd rather have that. I got a big nose. Everything's on my nose. It's fine.
Yeah, but what about Mr. Perfect? Or
he was perfect.
Man.
Did you see him spit things out and just smack the crap out of
it? Man.
Yeah, is that 2 on the nose? I think that's fine.
Perhaps.
Oh god, there's a freaking 30 for 30 doc on the XFL coming out.
Yes. So I was going to say that. So this. People are stupid if they think this isn't interesting. This is great because who is dumb enough to go up against the NFL? Vince McMahon is. That's who. This is legitimately something I'm looking forward to. I don't understand why anyone would say, "Oh, this is dumb." You may not have liked the XFL, but don't you want to know why, how it all worked out, how it got started? We all know how it ended. That's fine, but we don't know all the behind the scenes stuff.
I will have you know there is at least an entire community of people here in NorCal that enjoyed the XFL so much that they still wear the T-shirts whenever they go to Great America.
See, and this is the problem with the XFL too. When you talk to people about it, the only thing they can ever tell you is he hate me. Nothing else. No one knows shit about the XFL, and it drives me nuts. We're like, hey, did you know LA actually won the goddamn title that year, and it didn't mean shit because of the XFL?
Yeah, I was like,
huh?
Who really wants to? Are you an XFL historian, Gibby? Get the fuck out of here with that shit. Nobody gives a fuck.
Shit going.
Well, look, I don't care if anyone gives a fuck. I know this shit. I watched every goddamn week that it was on. I watched multiple games. I enjoyed it because it was during the off season of NFL. I didn't have to worry about missing an NFL game. It was back when the Raiders were
The Raiders belonged in the XFL. Just say it.
Well. The Raiders at that time belonged in the XFL. Yeah,
100%.
But I'm looking forward to this. I really want to see this.
I'll check it out.
They had a hot tub in the 50-yard line, not in the middle of the field, but right beside it, just filled with people drinking beers and just. It was sick. How can you not like that?
Oh my god! I can't believe it's folded.
Well, I mean, arena football is doing well in China.
How's the LFL doing? Is that doing all right? Or no, the what do they call it now? It's not the LFL anymore. It's WFL. I don't know.
I think you're just like throwing letters in front of that.
They renamed it, but they never said what they renamed it to because they were just like, "Oh, it's not about lingerie anymore," even though they're still wearing lingerie. And I'm like, "What do you call it then?"
Oh, you mean the lingerie bowl?
Yeah, like what do they call that now? They don't call it lingerie football anymore.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Those girls hit fucking hard, by the way.
Oh, we got a question from Big Papa Trump. I like that name. Okay. He says question for the show: can a short throw stick mod make a 454 and 656 dashing difficult? So, shorts. You guys know how throw works, obviously.
Yeah, it's a big actuator, right?
Yeah. So, what are your opinions on this?
Will it make? Well, my opinions on it in general, or will it make?
Will it make dashing that way more difficult? Basically, forward dash or back dash.
No, probably not.
I mean, it's a comfort thing.
Yeah.
I feel like with a small actuator or with a oversized actuator, it's probably not going to be any harder. Maybe you'd want more tension on the spring in order so that you get back to neutral and don't get accidental throw back. But ultimately, it would probably be the same, if not easier, because you actually have less room to move. But then you have to get back to neutral as well. So you got to kind of compensate for that. I think it really depends on your hand control, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Who the hell did he tweet this to?
SDR.
I'm not seeing it.
Oh, I see it. Let me see. There are other questions. Reiki asked a question.
What? Where?
He says, where is it? I saw it here, damn it.
I'm literally not seeing anything.
So, he says, can you address this, please? It's a nothing access tweet. Also part of the same question. Last question. What questions do you have about the KOF community? We're looking for questions to analyze using the survey data.
Oh, it's back a bit. Okay.
Yeah. Like, the problem with his first two questions is that's going to take way too long to go. Like, we can't answer those questions in this goddamn Q&A segment, Reggie. That'll be a long time.
Shit's fucked.
Yeah.
So what was the first question that he wanted?
So the main question is, what questions do you have about the King of Fighters community? We're looking for questions to analyze using the survey data. For those who don't know, Betacon and Reiki did a survey that we helped promote here and through other venues, where they asked a bunch of the community, what do they want, what do they like, what do they expect, like what would they prefer, all this stuff with tournaments, the game, graphics, gameplay, everything. And they compiled all the data, and it made numbers. So that's what he's asking us about. What numbers do we want to see?
Okay.
Right? I just lost it.
It's not really a show question. It's more like a, hey, you want to check out this data?
Yeah, we can answer this personally, like directly respond to it.
More so, let's have super existential radio, and we'll talk about shit like why are we put here?
All right, I think you guys will like this. DJ Cream says, need more questions? Rank the following: RKO. He says Diamond Cutter, not Diamond Cutter, but Diamond Cutter. All right, I like that one.
Diamond Cutter.
Twist of Fate and Crossroads.
Crossroads is the full fucking bottom tier. That shit is trash.
I don't know what that one is.
It's basically, I was gonna say it's basically like a roll of the dice, but you don't know what that is either.
I'm gonna go.
RKO is the best, then Diamond Cutter, then Crossroads is in the fucking dumpster.
No, number 1, Diamond Cutter. Number 2, Gunstun.
You were adding them to the equation now?
You said rank the following, man.
No, I'm gonna be that asshole, aka everybody, and say something completely different that wasn't one of the options. It's like going to fucking McDonald's and saying, I want the number 27. Like, you know what? Get the fuck out. All right.
Son of a bitch.
So you're not going to give me my chopped deer and fish sandwich?
Oh, my God.
Easily the RKO number 1. Like.
Well, somebody's asking me how they entered the PS4 mode.
I'm responding right now.
Cool.
For those who are curious as how to enter, tomorrow around like 3 or 4, or 3 or 4 Pacific, we're gonna put up a tweet. Just retweet it, and then boom, you're in. You're entered. And winners will be announced next Monday on the show. And if you don't have a PS4, you can't win the Hound. All right.
Please don't win.
He told me he doesn't have a PS4 and he can't win. But here's the issue: I guarantee you, his name will still be pulled up.
Even if he doesn't enter. What if he just?
He's gonna enter.
Yeah, he's gonna enter. Okay.
He's gonna. He supports the show. He's gonna.
He supports. We actually saw this guy at Evo, and he was just like. I totally dissed him on accident or something shit, right?
Yeah, no. Let me tell the story. Apparently, the Hound spoke to Hell Pockets and was talking to him.
How dare he?
And then I ran to Chris, asked him, "Hey, did you see the Hound?" He's like, "Nope." Run into the Hound. I'm like, "Hey, you get to see anyone?" "Oh, I talked to Hell Pockets." He doesn't even remember who the hell I am. Like, I don't know. He's like, "Oh, I spoke to Hell Pockets." I'm like, "He told me he didn't see you at all." He's like, "What? No, I had a conversation with him over there at Guilty Gear." I'm like, "Did you?" He's like, "Yeah." And I'm like, "Hey, Chris, did you see the Hound?" "No, I didn't see the Hound." And the Hound's like, "You son of a bitch."
I was sad that I didn't talk to him more, but that's because he was also playing video games while I was fucking dicking around doing nothing. So that was kind of on me. But actually, I blame him having fucking things to do at Evo, like play video games. Who goes to Evo to play games? You gotta hang out with me and go to the fucking Japanese-inspired burger joint that has fucking like porno on the wall next to the toilet. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Wait,
What? I didn't go to this.
No, nobody really did. It was like just me, and I went to pick up some fucking burgers.
I gotta hurry up and get to July now.
It had like these like prints on the wall that like there was a bunch of them that like this was like X-Men comics, this was like other shit. Like a lot of them are comic books, and then like I go down the hallway.
Here come the titty.
Well, they had like this cool painted walls. It was probably just like a vinyl like thing, but it's like it got like Kamen Rider, Chun-Li, Astro Boy, fucking Giant Robo. Like it had a whole bunch of cool shit in there. And then I walk in the back, and there's one that's like, oh, this one's based around Japanese, animation. And I look, and I'm like, oh, there's definitely like 90% porno on this fucking print. I mean, at least it's not in the forefront, but it's definitely still on the walls by the bathroom. People go like and use the bathroom a lot. People might take this picture into the bathroom, so I'm not touching the picture.
Jesus Christ!
I gotta fucking take a piss and get the fuck out of here. And then I ate a burger.
The burger good at least? The burger's good, right?
Oh yeah, it was good.
It's better than a fucking White Castle burger, right?
Yeah, I mean, it had 6 different ones. I got the one with the egg. One of my friends got one with I think it had pork belly on it or some shit. And the other one got like a spicier one.
Okay.
I forget exactly, but they were all pretty awesome. Oh, and they had fries that came with fucking. It was like they were weird. They were like gravy and something else or some shit. It's pretty good. It was almost like disco fries or Elvis fries and not poutine. We do the American deal in here. Use chicken gravy.
Chicken gravy. Oh man, it reminds me.
No, I don't know. I don't really remember exactly what it was. I forgot what the place. It's called like Fuku Burger or something.
Oh, I know that place. I know what you're talking about. Okay, I need to try that when I go out there next time. Fuck.
I drove around town a lot.
Can't wait
that
for
Vegas trip.
Can't wait for January so we can get that eventual Evo announcement of whether or not KOF is in there or not. Then I can decide to go. Shit.
We will see.
It'll got my fingers crossed along with everybody else at SNK.
All right. So we are at the top of the hour. Does anybody have any last thoughts?
Be sure to follow everybody. All the names right there. Follow our special guest. He is at meta_Abe on the Twitters. He's a good guy. He kind of sort of talks over the King of Fighters stuff when Hell Pockets isn't yelling over the King of Fighters stuff.
And he does some stuff for Game Goons too, which you can follow at
Game Goons TV.
Game Goons TV on Twitter, and you can also subscribe to us at youtube.gamegoonstv on YouTube, and also follow the Game Goons Twitch at twitch.tv/GameGoons.
Resident Evil. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Also, Dota 2. Go play it.
Oh yeah, Dota 700 is coming out.
Yeah, Dota 700. They went from Dota 2 all the way to 700, and
this is like the actual Dota 2. It's out of beta now.
It's been out of beta. It's just now it's very different.
It's a completely different game. But it looks really cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I think that's it.
No, actually, I was going to mention one other thing.
Okay.
Chris, did you have an archive on for that stream where we played?
Oh yeah, we do. I got it.
Go give people a link to that online later, because if you want to see what Xanadu can look like, every now and then that character goes off, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty scary when you don't know what side he's going to land on when he takes to the air. Like
It's like, oh, he crossed me up and landed in the front. Fuck.
He's got to play him versus fucking Gong Il so you can recreate Simpsons fucking Bart versus Lisa. Just walking out. Just do DP kick and half circle back punch at the same time. It's practically the same.
Write that down for later.
God.
I'm just going to keep doing this.
That about wraps it up for this episode of Super Desperation Radio. So from everybody here, good night and good luck.